I've analysed over 1,000 men's blood tests over the past few years, and the same three patterns emerge every single time. So if your testosterone is 3, 4, 500 and it's stuck there, and you're not getting to the 800 to 1200 range, the ideal range for men that I keep talking about, it's not random. There is a specific reason for this. You're being held back by the same problems that pretty much every man out there is held back by. Today, I'm going to talk about what the problem is and how to fix it. Most men aren't low testosterone because of aging or genetics. Genetics don't change over time. And even there's guys in their 50s and 60s who are high testosterone, so it's not that. But when you read thousands of blood work reports like I have done, you come to the same brutally obvious conclusion every single time. Over and over again, I keep seeing the same three markers that are stopping guys from hitting the 800 plus testosterone range that so many of my clients have done now. Naturally, of course, no TRT. These same three offenders, these same three issues keep showing up in about 90% of the blood tests I look at now. And they crush your energy, kill your libido, no more morning wood. And they make it very difficult to gain muscle and lose body fat, which of course we all care about. They make you just feel like a watered down version of yourself. So life in third gear instead of fifth or sixth gear or whatever. And the thing that annoys me is that doctors they either don't even test this stuff in the first place, in certain countries where it's free healthcare, because they're not incentivized to do so. Or if they do test it, they'll look at the range and it'll be on the lower normal range, but they'll still call it normal, so you're okay. When your body knows damn well that you're not okay, and you know you're not okay. But the number on the test is technically within the okay range, as compared to an 85-year-old man who's going to be not here any longer within the next few years. He is on his bed. Like, I don't think you can say it on YouTube. Like, if that's what you want to be classified as normal as, then sure. But at the end of the day, you know you're not fine. And the doctors will just skip over it because they're not interested in helping you fix the problem. I'm here today to help you break down these three problems and help you get to the bottom of it and how you can actually get your testosterone levels back up to peak levels. So let's get into it. This is going to be far better than anything any doctor will tell you because they're not incentivized to fix your problems. So the first one, the biggest one that is probably the most frequent now, unfortunately, is high prolactin. High prolactin levels are just going to ruin everything else from a hormone standpoint, and I'm going to get into the details in just a second. But please also realize, if your prolactin levels are in the higher than average range, that is high in reality. Just like if your testosterone is 350 nanograms per deciliter, you might be in range just about, or if you're in India, you are well within range at that point. Their standards are even lower than ours in the West. But in reality, you're low. You're objectively low. You are not going to be doing very well in life with levels that low with testosterone or levels that high with prolactin. There's their subjective numbers, and then there's just objective. Your body doesn't lie. If you've not had morning wood in months, that tells you everything you need to know. So to give you some more prolactin numbers, if your prolactin is over 15 nanograms per milliliter, you're high. So officially on most blood work in most Western countries, it's over 20. If you're over 20, it's way too high. If you're over 15, you're high. If you're over 10, that's not ideal. Ideal is going to be like 5, maybe a bit less, certainly less than 10. Once you go well over that, you're going to start having problems in a sort of incremental fashion. So those problems are obviously lower testosterone levels. Prolactin really messes with dopamine signaling, which is also a big factor for things like libido, morning wood. It's not just testosterone. Prolactin also lowers luteinizing hormone at the testicular level, which makes long-term testosterone more compromised. And ultimately, prolactin is a stress hormone. So you really want to get it low and into the ideal range, which is definitely less than 10 nanograms per milliliter. And the most common causes of this are chronic physiological stress, which is why I tell people not to be in the gym every single day, plus doing loads of boxing, plus not sleeping enough. So Chronic physiological stress, psychological stress can play into it. It's usually a physical thing, though. SSRI usage, so mental health, serotonin drugs, kratom, weed, various drugs, alcohol can do, a chronic lack of sleep. So all these things will cause your prolactin to raise unless you've got ridiculously good genetics or something. Even guys who are addicted to porn and you're constantly releasing again without time off. The time off is what allows the prolactin to come down and all the other stress hormones. But if you never have any time off, that can lead to the prolactin building up as well. So the second biggest blood work deficiency that I keep seeing over and over again, ruining guys' testosterone levels, is low vitamin D3 levels. However, again, we have to get serious about how we define low. Doctors won't define it until you fall below the 25 nanograms per milliliter level. 25 to 35, in real life, in reality, you are low. That's too low. It needs to be higher. It needs to be more like 50 plus, 50 to 75, that sort of range. It depends on the measurements. So again, that's 50 to 75 nanograms per milliliter. You fall below this, you have all the classic low testosterone things. It's one of the biggest fundamental building blocks for testosterone. So if you're low on that, you're going to be low on testosterone every single time. I know I have not ever seen someone who is on the lower end of vitamin D3 be on the higher end of testosterone, so 800 to 1200. I have never ever seen it. Like, this is crucial. And it's that time of year now in most parts of the world, or the Western world, where it's a huge threat to your test levels. It's a very, very overcast day here in the UK, once again. So we need to supplement, basically. Also, and I've worked with a few guys who are mixed race, if you are darker skinned, this is even harder. Like, you need more sun. Or in this kind of country, you've just got a supplement and you've got to make sure you're getting enough. So the obvious, I guess, causes of this is just a lack of sun. It doesn't help when it's this time of year. It doesn't help when we're working indoors all the time. Like, you'd be surprised at how much vitamin D you get even when it's cloudy if you're outdoors for hours at a time. But we're all working all the time, aren't we? Indoors, most of us. And then when you're fully clothed as well, because it's freezing, that doesn't help. But we all need to be supplementing, or the vast majority of us do. If you're lucky enough to be in Australia right now, potentially a different ball game entirely, or you live in the Canary Islands, but you need a good spray, or nature sups are very good. They've got so that's a pill form. There's plenty of other good supplements as well, but those two just, I know, categorically work. With all supplements, especially the pills, you need to make sure you're taking enough or it won't do anything. If you're taking less than 3,000 IUs, it's just not going to do anything. And again, doctors try and say that 5,000 IUs is dangerous. They're not talking in objective reality. Maybe with injections, maybe. Again, that's not been the reality that I've seen with clients who've had injections. But with pills, the objective truth is 3,000 IUs isn't going to do anything. So how's 5,000 going to be dangerous? It's not going to do much. It needs to be at least 5,000 to actually have any impact on your body from a supplementing standpoint. So make sure you're taking enough. And make sure that you're actually low in vitamin D before just randomly popping pills. I'm talking about blood work here, of course. So make sure you've got blood work done, basically. So the third huge blood work issue that I keep seeing is killing guys' testosterone levels, is keeping you stuck at the 400 to 600 range. And there is a very easy fix to this. A simple fix. Not necessarily easy, especially if you're very busy. But it's mineral imbalances. Zinc to copper being a huge one, or just not having enough either zinc or enough copper or enough magnesium or enough selenium. Selenium is quite a common one. It messes up potentially your sleep quality, especially in the case of magnesium. It can mess up cortisol levels. It can mess up thyroid in some cases. SHBG can get too high. Directly, it can impact the way your testes function and therefore just directly reduce your testosterone production. So it's a prop, and just one deficiency can destabilize a bunch of hormones. So like you got to make sure there's no deficiencies across the board. But please, step one is to get blood work done so that you can see all this and see what's relevant to you. But number two is please don't just see all these vitamins and minerals. And some guys, I don't want to insult anyone here or offend anyone because that's not the point. But some guys are so lazy, it's unreal. When you see all these vitamins and minerals, the first thought shouldn't be to pop down to Holland and Barrett or go online to Amazon and just order all the supplements, all the vitamins and all the minerals, and just start popping pills left and right. Like that's astoundingly lazy, and also it's not the best solution, and it can also end up taxing your liver, and your body won't absorb things as well as proper foods. So selenium, Brazil nuts, 2 or 3 times a week, done. Or oysters, or certain meats. Zinc and copper, organ meats, immediately ticks off all that. What else did I say? Magnesium. Quite a lot of greens are really good for magnesium, but various meats as well. Certain nuts can be quite good as well. And unless your gut health is completely wrecked, you will absorb those minerals and vitamins at a far superior rate. Plus, you're getting protein. Plus, you're getting essential fats. So, plus with some of them, you're getting cholesterol and satiation. And we are humans. We're wired for proper food, not pills. But pills do work if you've got a legitimate deficiency and you are extremely busy, genuinely for real, and everything else is perfect. It's just that one thing. Some guys have iron problems as well. Like taking a supplement in those circumstances can make a lot of sense. Now, as I've said, there are certain foods that will tick off many of these blood work issues all in one go. So minerals, and imbalances and deficiencies, prolactin, and they're also very, very high in protein. They help you to lose fat more easily, recover from workouts, stuff like that. There is one food in particular that so many guys just seem to have forgotten exists in a world of like dudes going on about carnivore. Some guys go down the vegan path. No one talks about this food though. I did an entire video on this food. It's extremely high T food, and it's also really good for guys who want to lean down and get shredded. So check out that video. I think you'll find it useful.